This is Dwayne Yoder, and he's one smart man. He sure better be. He's the production manager of 2 plants of the Rockwood Flagstaff division of Forest River. Dwayne's been working here in the RV business for going on 20 years. He's a man who wears a lot of hats. He's also got a lot of responsibility. And me, I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. And I got a lot of questions I'm hoping that Mr. Yoder can answer. When people talk about online, and I'm talking about on social media, they refer to PDIs and they're not bad PDIs, and RVs are being delivered that are not even completely finished and ready for the consumer. What are they referring to? I mean, I don't hear that from Rockwood and Flagstaff necessarily, but from some manufacturers I hear about real basic stuff. It seems like it was shipped from the manufacturer to the dealer, and the consumer's supposed to just take it, and not everything is even complete.
That normally happens if the unit goes offline with a shortage, and by shortage I mean there's a part that we buy in from a vendor that didn't make it here on time. It's something that can be installed after it's offline, off the production line. And somehow it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen occasionally where that unit gets shipped. There's a miscommunication maybe between dispatch and production, or somebody didn't red tag it, or whatever it may be. It does happen that occasionally they do get shipped.
How long have you been doing? I mean, about how many years have you been, overseeing the production there in the plants? I mean, just recently, or have you been doing it a long time?
I've been here involved in production for going on 18 years now. I've been production manager for about 5.
Has Forest River, and specifically Flagstaff and Rockwood, have they always done the quality assurance inspections and the PDIs like this, or is this something relatively new to assure better quality? Or tell me about that, since you've been there for so long.
The PDI process started, it's been at least 10 to 15 years, the corporate PDI.
Oh, wow.
The CEI within our own division has been, it's been going on, I think, 3-4 years now that we started that. And that was just, we felt like our things that we wanted to watch for, that we can control that a little bit more, of what we want to watch and what we want to test and what we want to look for.
It would seem to me that the more inspections, the more eyes that look at a unit, the more hands go on a unit, the cost has got to go up. But at the same time, you mentioned warranties earlier in our conversation. The balance point of that is the more eyes, the more hands that inspect an RV before it goes out to the consumer, the less problems you're going to have when it does get to the consumer. So there is a cost, but there's a benefit at the same time.
Yes. I think the key there is to that the production stays in close touch with warranty, that they communicate extremely well, and that what gets communicated gets addressed. And you can then go down, as for myself, I can go down on the production line and talk to the inspectors, the group leaders, the line workers, and say, hey, this is what we're seeing. We need to tweak this, or we need to change this. Or we've had this in the past, and this is what happens. And a lot of times they don't realize, something they're doing, what the effect of it can be, until somebody explains it to them. And that's what we try to do, is have that communication constant there, and as soon as possible.
Talk with me about warranties, and because in my view, too few of consumers know really what their warranty even covers until they may have a warranty claim. And talk to me a little bit about that, because if you work closely with them, I'm sure that's got to be a struggle of communication and understanding what responsibility lies on the manufacturer versus lies on the consumer.
Yeah, our warranty does a great job, and most of them know what lies on what. We try to communicate with the dealer then, if it's something that not necessarily falls back on the dealer, but something that the dealer can take care of we try to closely communicate with the dealer and give them, we have a lot of PDFs, PowerPoints on how to fix stuff or how to install something or how to change something. We try to do, on the production side of it, we try to create these PowerPoints to help them with the process, that the dealer knows how to do it properly, and it's a support for the dealer.
In terms of RV ownership and having a pleasant ownership experience, talk with me about the importance of understanding my responsibilities in terms of maintenance.
Right. I would say the main thing is to, well, obviously every fall, winterize it if you're in an area that it freezes, to make sure your roof, I would inspect the roof quite frequently just to make sure it didn't hit a branch somewhere, there's not something coming up on there. The seals, the roof sealant, the seals need to be maintained every so often. The exterior seals, the caulking, if you will, around the components outside, just inspect that a couple times a year just to make sure there's no cracks in it or voids or anything like that where water infiltration could happen.
In terms of warranties, when should RVers understand what they need to know? In my view, it would be before they even buy, but going back to what I said earlier, I think most people just assume, well, everything's covered, and they don't even look at it. Am I wrong there, or do you agree with that? Yeah,
I think that's a conversation that the consumer needs to have with the dealer to see, what is covered, because it does vary from brand to brand. Mm-hmm. But what is covered under warranty and for how long? I think that's definitely a conversation that the consumer needs to have with the dealer.
Dwayne, from time to time we receive phone calls from people. We recently received a phone call from somebody asking about warranties. Can we play that call real quickly and get your take on it?
Sure.
Hey, Wingman. My name is Matt, new to RVing. Love it so far. Just found your show and love it as well. Listen to the podcast every week. My question is, what can you do that voids the warranties as far as modifications afterwards? So if you install a cell phone booster or drill into the roof and install other things, or change out the fan, do any of those actions void the warranty that comes with the rig? Love to hear the answer to that. Wingman, love your show. Thank you so much for everything you do.
That was nice. What do you say to that? That's a good question, though.
One thing we see a lot is people, attach things to their bumper or weld things to the back end of their trailer on their frame. And depending on how much weight that is, that can really create some issues in the frame. But as far as on the roof, anything penetrating the roof, I would definitely contact the manufacturer to make sure that what they're doing maybe the best way to do it, mm-hmm. and that what they're doing isn't voiding the warranty.
The RV Show USA is brought to you by Rockwood, a division of Forest River, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.